So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to DALIA Rivers Revive Call for Associated Regions Q&A webinar. Before we start, so the webinar will be recorded, and of course, we will share it and disseminate it, so it will be available for you to see it afterwards. We will also share the slides with all the attendees. In case you haven't, we kindly ask you to rename yourself to your first and last name and entity you represent, because it will facilitate our lives during the Q&A webinar when we need to identify everyone. So there will be a specific slot dedicated to the Q&A. If you wish to ask a question, there's two ways. You can raise your hand. There's an icon for that. Or you can write your question directly to the Q&A chat that you as an attendee have access to. As moderators, we will go through all the raised questions, so no question will be left unanswered. And today with us, we also have some colleagues representing some of the DPSs within the DALIA project. So in case you have a question, a technical question, or a question dedicated to a DPS, if a colleague is here, they will be able to reply to you. In case they are not, we ask you to send your question directly to the open call DALIA Danube email, okay? And of course, during the presentation, you will have access to the email. So this will be our agenda. We will start by briefly presenting the project, the DALIA project. Then we will go to the overview of the DALIA Rivers Revived. We will also share with you some tips and best practices for a successful application. And we will conclude the webinar with the Q&A session. So DALIA call. So let's start with the DALIA project presentation. The goal of the project is to improve the knowledge to restore ecosystems in the Danube River. And by doing so, we aim to support practitioners in prioritizing and implementing innovations, such as increased evidence for a successful approach and strengthen the foundations for a large scale of restoration project. And this is why we are reaching out to the associated regions. So the DALIA project has three main objectives. One is to develop and integrate the DALIA tool into the Danube Mission Hub to improve decision-making for restoring freshwater and transitional water ecosystems, okay, in the Danube River. The second objective is to provide strategies and policies for protecting freshwater ecosystems and thus enhancing ecosystem connectivity also through the Danube River. And finally, the third one is to improve protection for local communities and ecosystems against extreme events like we are now experiencing due to climate change, but also pollution threats. This is a short number or a summary of the project numbers. And the main thing we want you to understand is that through 48 months, all the consortium partners and the 9 demo sites will work together to create innovative, replicable solutions to achieve the main mission of the DALIA project, which is freshwater restoration and protection, supporting the work of the European mission, Restore Our Oceans and Waters. The DALIA project comprises 22 expert organizations. So here you can see the countries that are part of the consortium. These organizations includes universities, authorities, SMEs, and NGOs coming from 8 different Danube European and associated countries. The consortium accumulates an outstanding set of knowledge with the main goal to cover not only the basin geographically, but all the different fields of expertise that are needed to deal with multidisciplinary issues from the source to sea. And finally, just the main three pillars of the DALIA project. So our DPS is the demonstrator pilot site development, the review current freshwater restoration assessment frameworks and relevant guidance and standards, and finally design and build prosper user-centered solutions. So these are the three main pillars of the project. So let's go now to the overview of the DALIA Open Call. So DALIA Open Call presents a unique opportunity for associated regions to participate in what we like to call groundbreaking initiatives aimed at environmental, social, and economic transformations. So the call is aligned with DALIA's primary objectives and is focusing on two main key aspects, namely the knowledge transfer from the DPS sites to other potential regions or associated regions, and the solution for scalability of the solutions for the Danube River catchment. As I said, the main goal is to transfer the knowledge from the DALIA pilot regions into new pilot regions with similar conditions. And this is the work. So how we plan to reach this is to engage with local and regional authorities that can select one or more than one DPS regions to replicate, and thus demonstrating the transferability, feasibility, and scalability of such solutions for the Danube River. The open call also aims to drive an expansion of the reuse causes in drought-affected areas, and of course, this is through the adoption of novel nature-based solutions technologies, contributing to a greater resilience in water management. But also, it seeks to promote the increased use of integrated river-based management principles, such as sustainable water management, climate change adaptation, water management, like reaching out to water management professionals, decision makers, and so on. So through the DALIA open call, we expect to reach a wide array of actions aimed to enhance water management and adaptation managers. And the list of the type of activities that can receive funding, financial support are here listed. What will be the timeline? So the submissions to DALIA Open Call were enabled on 18th of July, and the deadline to submit your proposals will be 16th of October, 5 p.m. Brussels time. We have published the open call in the website, in our project website, and also in the European portal. And the open call overall has a submissions period of 3 months, when local and regional authorities are able to select the one or more replications from our DPS and replicate it. So this is the overall timeline. In November, once we close the open call, we will start the evaluation process. And our goal is to, by the end of November, beginning of December, we will be able to communicate the final results and conclude the contractual phase with the selected proposals. So we will be conducting, once we close the open call, okay, we will be conducting a dedicated eligibility check to all received proposals. You have super detailed information about all the types, all the process, and of course this includes the eligibility check that we will be conducting in the guidelines for applicants. So you have more detailed information about it there. But we decided to put here some important things that you need to consider. So only applicants that are local and regional authorities are eligible. Technical providers, SMEs, startups, and other private companies cannot be considered local regional authorities and cannot be selected for funding. Although there's a possibility that the eligible local and regional authorities, if needed, they can subcontract. But we will take a look. The information is also in the guidelines for applicants, but we will present the specifications in the next slides. So applicants, of course, need to be part of the European member states and Horizon Europe associated countries. We have provided a list, and countries from the DALIA consortium partners are not eligible. The funding scheme. So overall, the DALIA open call will provide a total funding of 100K. And we expect, and of course, this is the funding will be for single application organization or a team up to 3 partners organization from 1 or multiple eligible countries. But all organizations need to be local and regional authorities. So 100K is the maximum funding that a sub-project is entitled to receive. And in the end, we will select the top 10 sub-projects or proposals coming from at least 5 different associated regions. Going into a more detail with regards to the funding scheme. So this is actually an important point. Applicants or third parties from potential applicants to the open call, DALIA open call, can benefit from the financial support provided by our project only if confirmed that the organization has not been selected for receiving funding in the same topic call from another project. For example, if you have applied for the Noob for All or Restore for Life or Remedies or other projects that are part of the same topic, and we provide here the link, and you have been selected for funding, the program does not allow double funding. However, if you have applied and you haven't been selected, you are eligible to apply to DALIA's open call. Okay, so this is an important point. But once again, everything is clarified in the guidelines for applicants, and you can access the link and check other projects. So DALIA funding is results driven and it's provided in the lump sum way. This means that there is no need for a traditional administrative justification systems. But how do you get the funding is coming from a full achievement of relevant milestones and KPIs. This means that, as it's written here, before month 6 and month 12 of the project pilot's execution or implementation, each team or each sub-project will need to deliver a report or a deliverable with some specifications about the work progress, what has been achieved, what has been done, etc. And only after positive assessment of these reports confirming the achievement of each phase milestones and KPIs, the payments will be released, okay? This being said, the request funding will be granted in 3 different payments along the sub-project or pilot execution period. As you can see here, we will provide 40% advance funding so you can start working, and here is the maximum funding we will provide on month 1, and month 6 and month 12 you have an interim payment and the final payment. Subcontracting is allowed, as I said, and it's recommended up to a maximum of only 30% of the total project budget. So in case the local or regional authority knows an SME or another type of organization that actually can support the pilot's execution, you are free to subcontract them. But please bear in mind that it's only for 30% of the total project budget. So it must be duly justified in the application with regards to the objectives and outcomes of the proposed actions, the expected impact on the associated region you are selecting, and of course also mentioning the public interest and the sustainability of the achieved results. Okay, right. And more information about the subcontracting can be found on the guidelines for applicants. So how can you apply? There are some things you need to consider. So English is, of course, the official language, and submissions will only be accepted in English, okay? If you submit in a different language that we cannot read, or thus we are not able to evaluate your proposal, you will be considered not eligible. All applications must be submitted via DALIA QMS platform, and we provide the link here in the presentation and also in the guidelines for applicants, where you as potential candidates must fill an online application form. Submissions received by any other channel, for example, like receiving your proposal by email, cannot be considered, okay, and will be discarded. It's mandatory to submit the proposal technical template. So we provide it as an Annex 1. This document is basically the baseline of so it's the document in which you are going to present your proposal. And this is the document afterwards, after you submit and we close the open call. This will be the document where we will evaluate your entire proposal. So this is why it's mandatory. Also, applicants will be able to select one or multiple solutions from the DALIA knowledge pilot, so from our DPS replication list. You can access the list through the DALIA QMS platform. However, multiple applications to DALIA open call will not be accepted. Even if you are a single, like if you are applying without a team, or if you are applying in the consortium mode, you only can apply once. And so we will only receive, or we will only be considered a proposal from one proposal from each application. And the same organization cannot be part of multiple consortiums. So same organization cannot be part in multiple proposals. So please examine all the DALIA open call documents, and for more information, feel free to reach out to us through this email. As I said before, under the DALIA project, we have 9 DPS. However, only 8 DPS made available potential solutions to be replicated. So this is the 8 DPS that from which you can actually choose a potential replication. This is just a brief presentation of each of the DPSs, and you can visit our project website to become more acquainted with our DPS project work. And of course, visit the DALIA QMS platform for the information with regards to their replication solutions. How is the evaluation process? All the evaluation process will be undertaken after the deadline for applying to the open call, to the DALIA open call is concluded. So, and this is of course to ensure a fair process. So DALIA open call will execute a trustworthy and evaluation procedure. Each proposal will be evaluated by 2 external experts or evaluators. They will be recording their individual opinion about each proposal on the individual evaluation report. And the final scores of the 2 external evaluators that independently reviewed each proposal will be compared and analyzed. And in case both scores are very different, we will request a consensus meeting with evaluators to close or to reach a consensus on the proposal final score. So this is how we will do. for the remote evaluation. After the remote evaluation, proposals will be ranked based on overall scores, so average between the two evaluators' scores. And all proposals will receive an online interview acceptance, or a rejection letter, together with an anonymized version of their proposal evaluation summary report. So in the end, we will inform everyone about the overall scores and the overall comments received from the evaluators, from the first phase. So the evaluation process has two phases. We will start with the remote evaluation, and the second phase will be the online interviews. Top 20, and this is of course a tentative number, top 20 ranked proposals will be invited to the interview. So this is the maximum number. It can be less depending on the rank and the level of the proposals and the final number of proposals received, of course. So they will be invited to an online interview with the external experts and the respective DPS partners whose applications have been selected. And the purpose of the online interview is to allow the top rank applications to present their proposals and clarify any questions, doubts that external evaluators have from the remote evaluation. So the interviews will be assessed by two external evaluators, having success team as moderators of the online interviews. And in addition, the project DPS partners will also be present, and they will be sharing or provide advice on the feasibility of the top ranked proposals. So once we conclude the online interviews, we will have a final ranking meeting, and we will then have a final selection of the top 10 best proposals. And of course, all proposals will be ranked based on their interview final scores. So summarizing the evaluation and selection process. The first step is the eligibility check that we need to conduct in all finalized applications. In case the proposal is not eligible, it will be notified with a letter explaining why it was not considered eligible. All eligible proposals will proceed to the evaluation phase 1, which is the remote evaluation. If you are part of the top ranked proposals, then you will proceed to the second phase, which is the online interviews. And in the end, of course, all proposals will receive an acceptance or rejection letter together with their respective proposals consistency evaluation report. Before we conclude the presentation of the open calls, each evaluation phase has dedicated evaluation criteria. And of course, this information is also displayed in the guidelines for applicants in more detail. Both phases criteria are aligned with each other. And however, during the online interviews, evaluators will take the opportunity, because they will be meeting the teams, to assess the team competences, expertise, and capacity to deliver the work that is being proposed. Okay, I will not go into details, but with regards to each evaluation criteria, because you have this information in the guidelines for applicants. And what is important to say is that the technical proposal, or the proposal technical template, was also built aligned with this evaluation criteria. So you have short descriptions, it's easier to follow, and it was made to facilitate your application. We leave here some important links, okay? DALIA website open call information, where you need to submit your proposal, where you can find the guidelines, where you can find our pilots or DPS replication list, and where you can download the proposal technical template. So one slide before I conclude my presentation. So some tips and best practices. We advise you to read the guidelines for applicants really carefully. So this is the documents where you will find all the necessary and relevant information about the scope and objectives of the open call, the step-by-step process you need to follow, and as well as the guidelines for successful application. So all the information is there. We also advise you to read carefully the proposal technical template, because this will be the template. This template will be the base for your entire proposal. So each chapter, as I said, is aligned with a specific evaluation criteria and have a short description of what is expected to write in each one and what we would like to see in each chapter corresponding to each evaluation criteria. It is strongly recommended not to wait until the last minute to submit your proposal. Why? Because the time of receive the application as recorded by it's recorded by a submission system and will be definitive, and no system network failures will be accepted as excuse. So once the deadline is reached, the application will automatically be closed. So don't leave things for the last minute, because we cannot do anything in case you are trying to submit and something happens, or the internet is slower and you end up submitting the proposal a few minutes later or 1 minute later, and unfortunately we cannot consider it as a finalized proposal. Another important thing is that with regards to data protection and confidentiality at the application process. So of course, DALIA's contract with the European Commission means that consortium partners need to comply with confidentiality and no conflict of interest clauses regarding applications received. So everything is going to be confidential, and it will be part of the DALIA's program. And of course, you will, on the application form, on the online application form, you have some questions that you need to answer with regards to this. Finally, engage with us and ask questions. Send us emails. It's fine if you don't understand the answer, or if it's not clear, feel free to reach out to us again. We are here to support you. And what we've been learning from previous open calls is that applicants who contact us via email are much more likely to create a good application, because they clarified some doubts, we provided answers to their questions, and by doing this, of course, we avoid misunderstandings, and we avoid you having waste efforts in applying, and then for some reason you are not considered eligible, or you didn't understood a particular question, and so on. So feel free to reach out at any time. The entire DALIA team is here to support you, because we are really keen to see your applications and proposals and ideas. And this is the end of my presentation. We can now proceed to the Q&A session, and I will now ask my colleagues for some support, because I'm sharing screen.
Yeah, so first we have Barry Sheridan, which asks, can the country partner be an NGO?
Country partner, what exactly does that mean? If it's part of the consortium, it needs to be always a local and regional authority. Elena?
Maybe they're asking whether the partner of the country can actually be an NGO. And in this case, yes, right? Because they could form a consortium. But the main thing is the partner itself needs to be, the original applicant needs to be from an associated region, okay? And they shouldn't be part, however, of the DALIA consortium.
Yes, but in case of a team application, if an NGO is part of the consortium as an organization. I'm not it. So all organizations need to be a local and regional authority, and I'm not sure if NGOs fit in that description. So NGOs can be parts in case of a subcontracting, for example. Does this answer the question? You are muted, Katya. Sorry.
Bosco included in the chat that I think NGOs cannot apply.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have Gordon, which will this call for applicants open next year?
No.
Yeah.
DALIA project or DALIA program is only going to issue one open call, and this is the one because we also provide this information in the guidelines for applicants. So the top selected projects will be part of the program for 24 months. The first 12 months is mainly covering the training and transfer of knowledge from the DPSs to the selected teams. So the first 12 months is about align everything, transfer of knowledge and training. Of course, once the methodology is ready, everything will be shared with the top 10 proposals or the selected ones. And then this is for the first 12 months. And then the second part of the program, the last 12 months, is the pilot execution itself. So this doesn't allow us as the DALIA consortium to launch a second open call.
Then we have a Romanian, I believe, but it's not a question. So yeah, let's keep this in English as it is the official language for this open call. Then we have, would you send the video of the meeting to our emails?
We will share the recorded webinar in the project website, and we will send the presentation to all the attendees.
Is the co-financing from the applicant needed?
Co-financing from the applicant needed. Which applicant and which co-financing?
I believe that what is being asked is 100% finance, or if the applicant needs to give a percentage of the proposal, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's 100%. The funding is 100%, okay? However, in case of a consortium application or a team application, in case you are selected, we will share with all teams applications, in case of selection, of course, the consortium declaration of honor, in which all the team organizations or members will need to sign. And in this document, and of course in their proposal, you need to specify the amount of funding each team will receive and why. Okay, so if it's a consortium application, it's good to identify who's bringing the knowledge and what type of expertise and how the work is being divided and how much funding each organization or team member is going to receive.
Selected sub-projects, pilots, have a duration of 24 months, but the total payments will be done until month 12.
Yes, exactly. So is the pilot execution phase is the second 12 months. So it's the second year. So the first 12 months of the project is all about training and transfer knowledge, as I said. And the payments will only be released when the pilot execution or pilot implementation phase starts, which is going to be the second part of the 24 months.
Yeah.
The partners, the DALIA partners responsible for both for the entire program, they are currently working on the guidelines for the evaluation and monitoring methodology for the entire program. And we will share everything with the selected beneficiaries or the selected proposals, okay? So you have access to all the necessary information if in case you are selected.
And adding to this question, when does the month one start? Training and knowledge transfer phase or pilot execution phase?
So the pilot execution phase is planned to start January 2026. So in January, mid-January 2025, or the beginning of January 2025, we will start the training and transfer knowledge phase. And then they will have 12 months. And at the end of these 12 months, it will start the pilot execution phase.
Next question. Are the projects applying expected to do exactly the same as the projects carried out in the Danube? For example, can we change the species to be protected in a pest conservation project, such as one for sturgeon?
So I think this is a really good question for our DPS partners. I don't know who would like to answer.
Katarina, I see that Elena would like to answer this question live. I see this comment.
Okay, Elena?
I don't think it's me.
Ah.
And I don't see a raised hand.
So, but maybe Bosco and team, or even the DPS 9 representatives, would you like to add something?
If no one has any comments at this point, maybe you can send an email and we can, of course, answer later.
I just want to add that, for example, the surgeon is from the DPS 6, so maybe it's important to...
Okay. So it's the DPS 6, because it's still on the research phase. It was not possible to provide any replication. So this is why, unfortunately, the DPS 6 is not considered for the open call. I don't know, Hunter, if this was this clarified your question, but feel free to reach out by email, okay? But in principle, the idea is for you. The idea is, okay, the DPSs have provided physical and non-physical potential replications. So you can pick more than one and from different DPSs. And if you are, for example, selecting a physical solution, then of course you'll need to replicate it. But if it's a non-physical and it's a monitoring system or something like that, and taking into consideration that, of course, species can change along the associated regions, there might be some margin to protect different species, okay? But everyone needs to take into account that the idea is to replicate already existing solutions that are being successfully implemented in our DPS areas and replicate them into new associated areas from the Danube River. Of course, you can change or adapt according to the associate region itself or specific to the associate region. And this is why we are asking you to submit your proposal to a specific template. So you will be giving sufficient space and to explain everything in detail, okay? I hope this clarifies the question.
Next question. If there is no administrative assessment of costs according to the lump sum model, how do you assess if there is only 30% of subcontracting?
That subcontracting is going to be reported as an indirect cost. and it needs to be justified. So you need to identify who you are subcontracting or who do you plan to subcontract, because I know that for local and regional authorities, this may take some time. This is why, for example, you can, in case you need a subcontracting, you need to already have identified who. And for the first 12 months, during the training and transfer of knowledge, you have the sufficient time to conclude the subcontracting phase. But you need to provide us who you are going to subcontract, why, and the maximum percentage of the overall budget you can allocate to it is 30%. So we will be assessing if what you are proposing, or we, when I say we, I say the external experts that we will select to evaluate all the DALIA proposals. They will be assessing if what you are proposing is feasible or not. Okay? And in case of subcontracting, then you have a more detailed information in the guidelines for applicants. But in case you are selected, then of course we will ask some documents about this, okay? But only if you are selected. But you have more information about the subcontracting in the guidelines for applicants. And if that information is not clear, feel free to send us an email.
Next question. In a possible pilot we are studying, we have some solutions that we intend to test that are not part from DALIA. Can we combine them with replication tools from one or several DPSs?
I would say yes, but I'm not a DPS partner. So Tim or Bosco, can you provide support here, or even Attila? Yeah. Tim.
Yes, hello everyone. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that it's possible, yes.
Yeah, same. We can also confirm this with our project coordinator and the project officer, but in principle, yes, because the idea, if you can use the tools that are already being and replicate them, and of course combine them with your already work or research, yeah, I would consider that a proposal eligible. But Bosco, Attila, what is your opinion?
Yeah, I also think that it can be combined, but I think that funds from DALI Open Call must be used for the replication from our DPS, but I don't see any problems to combine that with other solutions. But so yeah, I agree that it can be used like that, but maybe we can check with project officer just to be 100% sure.
Thank you so much. We also have a representative of the DPS 9 here with us. Would you like to share your thoughts on this question as well? Okay, if not, we can proceed to the next question, Katya.
Is it possible to transfer the human resources cost item in detriment of the others?
And that's actually a good question. I need to confirm this internally with the project financial manager. Okay.
Okay. The equipment for replication.
But sorry, before we move, can I ask this the applicant who made this question to send this question by email and elaborate it a little bit more, so our project financial manager can provide you with a clear answer. Okay, thank you.
The equipment for replication is paid exclusively from the budget of 100,000 euros.
So the maximum funding we have under the DALIA open call is 100,000 euros. And if you need to buy some equipment for the replication, yes, you can use the 100,000 euros to buy that. If it's not sufficient, at least part is funded. Okay. But I believe that the DPSs tried to find solutions to be replicated in terms of equipment that can be funded under the 100K. If not, the remaining budget that you need to invest is not that high. But I can confirm this also with the DPSs. But unfortunately, under the DALIA project, we can only fund projects up to 100,000 euros.
Okay. Next question. How is local data reported for the platform Knowledge Hub? I don't know if I get the question as well. How is local data reported for the platform?
Sorry, Marta. Maybe we can allow Marta to speak, because what do you mean by local data reported for the
I'm
platform?
going to activate, okay, the speaker. Marta?
Yes, Marta?
Ask to please unmute.
Are you listening now?
Yes, perfect.
How are you? Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, can you remind me the question, please?
How is local data reported for the platform?
We are planning to install some equipment and would like to buy the right equipment related with your platform. We know that you have already a platform that you use the data for and share with the other DPS also. And we would like to know if we have access to that platform.
So do you mean the DALIA Knowledge Hub platform?
Exactly.
Okay. So I don't know the answer to your question because F6S is not leading the development, and it's a technical question for our CSCC partner. Can you send an email so we may forward it?
Clarify the question.
Sorry?
Yes, I will send the email to clarify the question.
Thank you so much, because then I will forward it to our partner, and he will
we
probably...
know that this type of equipment are expensive, so we are trying to relate all the costs with the equipment, and then not only with the human resources. That is the main preoccupation for the budget, the total budget. But we don't know if that is possible for this project.
To use our DALIA Knowledge Hub. Okay. I don't know the answer. Sorry, Marta.
Okay,
but
we'll
reach
talk
out
soon.
to us by email.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Marta, I shared our email with you, so you can contact us via that.
Thank you very much, Katia.
Thank you. Another question from Marta: is the equipment made available by the consortium similar to that developed at the study sites, will be accessible to be installed at the different pilot sites?
No. So each DPS has their own equipment. But again, this is maybe a team, and Bosco can support me here. But each DPS has their own sites, their own equipment. What they are making available is solutions that they are currently working on and being successfully implemented in their regions that can be replicated. So if you choose a physical solution to be replicated in which you need to purchase some equipment, you need to add that into your budget, okay? So you need to see what type of equipment you need to buy or purchase, the costs associated to it, and try to see if 100K is sufficient to at least cover part of that value. But unfortunately, the DPSs will not be able to share their equipment to all the selected proposals. Each proposal or each sub-projects need to purchase their own.
Very good. Next question is the applicant eligible for DALIA if it got the funding from the Horizon We Data 2023 Access 07?
So the program in which DALIA is part of is Horizon Mission 2021 Ocean 0301. So this is the program that you need to consider. The other programs, if you have been funded before in other programs, it's fine, okay? You are eligible. The only program you need to consider is the one we shared, the Horizon Mission 21 Ocean 0301. So yes, the applicant is eligible. Even if you got funded from Horizon Widera 2023, Access 07. Thank you.
Very good. If we are a university, we could be subcontracted by an authority.
Yes. Now, yes, you can.
Yeah. Next question. If the associated country does not include the Danube, will this reflect poorly?
So, as you well know, geographically speaking, the Danube River does not cover all the associated regions. So, for example, if you are considering Portugal, because it's an eligible country, the Danube River is not reaching Portugal or Spain or France. So it will not reflect poorly in your application or in your proposal, okay? The list of eligible countries is available in both application form and guidelines for applicants. And we will evaluate all proposals equally coming from an eligible associated country, even if the replication site will not include the Danube River itself. But there are other rivers along Europe that share similar conditions as the Danube one, in which the replication solutions can be implemented.
Then we have a question, a long one. So my team is interested in activities that can be financed. Do they need to strictly be a replication of the projects at the existing demo sites, or is there some space for adaptations? I believe you already answered this as well.
Yes, I already answered this.
We are currently working on multiple projects in Slovenia, and we'd like to be able to pick the most suitable one for the call. Could you please advise on the suitability and eligibility on the following? And there is a list, but I believe that this could be asked directly into our email, and we can forward it to one of the DPSs to review the technical part.
Well, no, Katya. What I will say is, to avoid any conflict of interest, we will not be able to assess any potential draft of proposal sent or advise applicants the best course to take. So we will not be able to do that. What we will be able to do is, okay, you have the list. It's possible to adapt, okay? You need to always include one or multiple solutions or replication solutions from our DPS side. Of course, adapt them to the region or associated region you are applying to. We also provided a list with potential types of now I'm missing the English word, activities, sorry, that can receive funding. So this is a list that is here. What my advice is, compare them and check similarities. And the idea, you don't need to, doesn't need to be 100% copy paste of everything, okay? So there's margin for adapting, and we are looking for innovative proposals for that can replicate our DPS solutions in different regions. And of course, for example, you say improving connectivity by preparing technical documentation to support layer dam removal in Slovenia. This can be interpreted in more than one of the type of activities that can receive financial support in DALIA. So Yeah, I think you are aligned with the DALIA objectives and scope. So my advice is prepare your proposal, submit it. It looks interesting, but we cannot provide any type of assessment prior to the open call, okay? To avoid any conflict of interest. We can clarify questions and we can answer questions and clarify doubts. The DPS are available for any technical questions regarding their solutions, but that's the maximum we can do, okay? We cannot assess any proposal prior to its submission, because the entire evaluation will be conducted through an external board of experts.
I think Mate from DPS1 has something to add, please.
Okay, Mate, welcome. Hi.
Yes, thank you. Hi. Just a quick note on Emma's question that the topics that she lists, I think are well aligned with DPS1. So it's just a quick note that the topic seems to match with a lot of things that we did in DPS1. So I think it could be
a good match.
Adaptation. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds perfect. Thank you so much, Mate, for your inputs and suggestions. So Emma, feel free to take a look. Yeah, feel free to take a look on the DPS1 replication solutions. Thank you so much.
The next one is, can a river basin district authority be an applicant?
I would say yes, because it's local or regional authorities. So yes, yeah.
We will receive maximum 30% from the budget.
Only if you are a subcontracted entity. If you are applying as an organization, you will be entitled to receive 100% of the budget. If you are part of the consortium through the subcontracting program, you can only receive a maximum 30% of the budget. I hope, Anka, this answers your question.
Next question. Can a local authority cooperate with a university lab for the proposal?
Yes, you can. And then it's up to you to either is a collaboration and no funding is going to be provided to the university lab. If the university lab the university lab would like to become part of the consortium application or consortium proposal, then needs to be subcontracted. And it's again, it's entitled to receive a maximum of 30% of the overall 100K.
Very good. Can you subcontract?
Yes, you can. Yes, okay. You can. You can subcontract SMEs, universities. Yeah.
Very good. Natia from Gori Municipal Development Agency. How many solutions can we apply for?
One or multiple. It's up to you. So you can select more than one DPS. And within that, each DPS, some of them presented only a physical solution or only a non-physical solution. Some DPSs presented both. So in case you are selecting more than one DPS in your proposal, you need to identify everything in a clear way and present how you will combine the multiple solutions, okay? And for the second point, can local authorities subcontract NGO? Yes. And the third one, you were too fast, Katya.
Yes. The third one, I believe Elena already included as answered, so I'm trying to see where it is. The third one is, can you please elaborate on the budget installment?
Please send that question on more detailed to our email, okay? Because all the financial questions I need to clarify internally with the financial manager. Thank you.
The next one is one more. Is the current situation in Georgia, anti-NGO law, tensions with the EU in any going to affect the selection?
So far, we have not received any communication with regards to this. So in principle, no. However, I will need to confirm this, okay, Natia? I do apologize, but I don't have a correct reply to this point. But we haven't received, or at least at Success, we haven't received any legal statement from the European Commission stating this situation and providing proper actions to take. So preliminary answer, no. However, I will need to double check.
How many local authorities must be in the consortium in order to submit?
You can submit single applications, so one single local and regional authority, or apply as a consortium with 2 to 3 partners. So maximum 3 if you are applying as a consortium.
We are a Global Water Partnership representative in Armenia. Can we submit together with EU partners? As NGO, we will have subcontractor of costs, but as Armenia, not EU country, can we be part of the consortium?
Is Armenia an associated country? I don't know the list by heart, I'm sorry.
I don't believe it is.
I think it is.
Double check.
Sorry, Bosco?
I think it is, but need to check. I think it is.
Armenia, yes, you are eligible.
Yes, here,
so if you go to, yes, you are. So you can apply as a subcontractor, of course. Thank you, Bosco.
As understood, local public administrations from the Republic of Moldova, candidate country, are eligible to apply. Activities for 12 months, starting from January 2025.
Activities for 24 months, starting January 25. Ending, so the entire DALIA program covers 24 months, starting on January 25. Final dates, of course, will be displayed to the selected beneficiaries and goes until the end of 2026. So it most likely be December, but of course the final dates still needs to be defined.
And as for local public administrations from the Republic of Moldova are eligible to apply?
It is.
So you are eligible. Next question. When you are saying about a deliverable,
No.
You mean on month 6 or before?
No. So 3 different payments. You will receive the first payment without, so it's a prepayment of 40%. Okay. So when you are starting the second period of the 24 months, so the pilot execution period, that in total covers the second half 12 months, okay, the second year, you will receive a prepayment of 40% of the overall budget. So you may be able to start working. Before month 6, you will be asked to deliver a report or a deliverable stating how everything is going, reporting your work progress. In your proposal, you are being asked, so in your proposal application, you are being asked to clearly say or state your milestones and KPIs in order for proper pilot execution or implementation. So your proposal, basically what you expect to do, the KPIs you expect to achieve. And by month 6, you will be asked to report that. However, before month 6, so, and before month 12. So by month 6 or after month 6, we will be able to pay you the second 40%. And then at month 12, we will be able to pay you the final payment of 20%. For all the participants, you will be allocated to a pool of mentors, okay, or that will support you throughout the entire pilot's execution. And of course, this will be within the guidelines for the evaluation and monitoring methodology for the program. And for all the 10 proposals, or for all the selected proposals, you will be access to this. And on the onboarding meeting that you will have, that will kick off the entire DALIA program, you will be allocated to mentors or technical mentors and that will be monitoring and will be providing the necessary support for you to be able to execute everything in the best way possible, okay?
Okay. As I understand, the partner could be a city council or national park, for example. These entities lack capacity and may need to collaborate with a university. However, this cannot be a partner.
Yes, it is correct.
Contracted 30%, however. Is this correct? Yes, it is. And would a subcontract to a university be perceived positively during the selection?
Yes. Yes. As I said before, because I understand now there are several questions about this, which is normal. You can subcontract, and you need to present a clear justification why you're subcontracting. And if you lack expertise in a particular thing that it's important for you to deliver the proposal, then this is a clear justification. So you just need to identify who you will be subcontracting, the type of tasks or activities this entity will be responsible for, and the budget they will receive in order to conduct the activities they are being allocated to. And of course, because subcontracting is allowed, all proposals that are using subcontracted will be evaluated in the same way as everyone else. So this is not a point that somehow will jeopardize the overall proposal. Okay.
Next question is, for the submission, we only need to submit a form online application and join call proposal technical template. No statement signed by our institution direction, for example, other administrative document?
No. So you will need to answer questions from the application form, which is data information about the applicants, and so on, contact data, type of applicant, the countries, etc. You also need to say that you commit to all and agree to all DALIA specifications and requirements, and so on. So everything is in the application form. And you need to upload your proposal using the proposal technical template that is being provided as annex in the Word version, if I'm not mistaken, but yes. So this is mandatory. In case you are selected, if you are applying as a single organization, we will ask you a simple, if there's somehow doubt that you are actually a local or regional authority, we will be asking a legal document stating that you are, okay? But this is only if there's a question for this, a doubt on this. And finally, if you are applying as a consortium and you are selected, then we will ask you to sign the Consortium Declaration of Honor. So before the application, you don't need to submit any administrative document. Only answer the application form and upload your proposal technical template.
How much of the 100,000 euros must be dedicated to the first 12 months knowledge?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So the 100K are exclusively for the public execution period. The first 12 months, you will be receiving training, you will be receiving, training and the transfer of knowledge from the DPSs, You will be able to align everything, clarify questions, and so on. But at this point, unfortunately, I don't have a more detailed information about this. So once we do have it, we will share it with the selected ones, of course.
And even including in this question, there's another question here that it's, will the training for the first 12 months be online or it will require traveling? In such case, does the project cover travel costs?
So most likely all of them will be remotely, so online, because we do not foresee any funding to be allocated to traveling and accommodation. However, as I said, I don't have yet the clear planning for the training, but I will say remotely, because if we are reaching out to different associated regions coming from all Europe, then in order to have 100% participation, it needs to be remotely. And however, in any case, if there's a particular training that requires a physical presence, either the DALIA project covers it, but I don't know. And unfortunately, the project coordinators couldn't join us today. But maybe if you would like, if you could send us this question to the email, I can forward it to the project coordinator, and most likely I will provide you a clear answer.
Next question. As I understood so far, NGOs are part of the DALIA consortium. However, only local and regional authorities are eligible to apply for the project as leading applicants and co-applicants, right?
So this is a requirement for the program itself. So it has nothing to do with DALIA consortium requirement, okay? So all projects that have been funding under this topic or call from the European Commission have this requirement. The eligibility, so the funding support to the third parties through the open calls in any of these projects under the program can only be local and regional authorities. And they can be leading applicants and co-applicants, of course, but only local and regional authorities.
How can we plan the activities and estimate the budget of the project in order to fill in the app form if we don't have the details of the engineering methods of the project? Example, construction of a wetland system. Thank you.
Is this a question regarding a specific DPS? Because this is a technical question. So maybe we can... Attila, hi, thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. If this question is regarding the constructed wetland system, this is what we do in the DPS 5. So yes, I understand that it is hard to assess the budget if you don't know all the costs. But the cost of implementing the constructed wetland systems of course depends on many things, on the location of the size of the system, of the type, and many things. So I don't know, maybe it is it could be more practical if we continue the communication via email, if it is okay. So maybe I can answer more via email.
Thank you so much, Attila. So please, Nadjeda Zubku, if you could send your questions and doubts in a more detailed way to our email, we will provide you a more detailed answer. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next one is the equipment needed for the project replication has to be paid by the fund of the project. The equipment is made available by the project or purchased in the countries that will replicate it.
So I already answered this. Yes, the idea is in case you need to buy some equipment or part of the equipment that you need to replicate the DPSs or solutions from the DPSs you are selecting, then you need to purchase, and you can use the funding support to third parties to this particular point. The equipment will not be made available by the project or the DPS.
How many people can be trained and how is the training delivered?
So how many people can be trained? The people that you are allocating to your project or sub-project proposal will receive training. If you are applying as in name of an organization. So within your organization, of course, different people can be allocated to specific tasks. So they will be in case of selection, they will be eligible for the training. And the training, as I said before, most likely will be remotely. In case of physical attendance at any phase of those 12 months, I need to confirm this with the project officer, because the selected sub-projects will not be, I need to confirm this with the project officer, okay? To see if there's budget available to pay for traveling and accommodation. However, please most likely consider that all trainings will be online or remotely. But yes, more information about the trainings will be displayed in the upcoming months.
Action from possible replication lists should be implemented as a regional action, or we can add some other actions. You answered this already as well.
Yes, I already answered this.
Can you expand on subcontracting, please? Regional local authorities generally do not carry out services such as river cleaning and sediment management themselves. This is usually outsourced via public government procurement.
Yes, I already answered this as well. Sorry, Katya. Yeah,
I just passed to the next one, but
I just like to add that we did consider the public procurement. Most likely, or the normal process is you need to identify more than one candidate, and you need at least time for them to apply and then select. So yes, you will have time to do it. You'll have 12 months to do it before the pilot execution. Okay.
Equipment, equipment, is it considered subcontracting? If yes, then does it relate to 30%?
No. I would say no. Subcontracting is when you are subcontracting a different organization, an entity, okay?
Yes.
So you don't need to subcontract another local and regional authority. If you want to work together with them, they need to be part of the consortium. But however, if you want to work with an SME, with an NGO, university, whatever, that most likely will have the equipment, I don't know, you are lacking, then you need to subcontract the entire organization or entity. And you only have 30% of the 100,000 euros of the funding available for this.
How can we plan the activities and estimate the budget of the project in order to fill in the app form if we don't have the detail? This is already.
This was answered.
Is it better to replicate one or several of the DPS sites?
It's entirely up to you to decide.
Yes, you already answered this. Can you please list the activities that are classified as subcontracting? Well, you just answered this.
Yes.
Have a list.
We don't have a specific list. We have a dedicated chapter for the subcontracting on the guidelines for applicants. Please read it carefully. And if you still have questions, doubts about it, please reach out to us by email.
Is it better for the applicant to join forces with other organizations, or is it equally treated by evaluators if the local authority?
Equally treated if you apply alone. So under the DALIA open call, we allow single applications and consortium applications, and both applications will be treated or evaluated equally. So we will be evaluating the proposal itself, how it is addressing the different evaluation criteria. We are asking if it's aligned with one or more or multiple DPS solutions you are selecting. If you are applying alone, you are applying the name of an organization. So if you proceed to the online interviews phase, you need to allocate a team to deliver the work, and each member of that team will have specific tasks and expertise, and this is how we will assess the team capacity to deliver the work being proposed.
I just want to see here Natia. She has a raised hand for some time, so I'm
Okay, sorry. Yes.
to add.
Sorry, my answers were my questions were answered.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could please.
Sorry, once you ask me, I have a quick question about a percentage of so out of 100,000 euro, which is eligible per project, as far as I understand.
Yes.
What is the percentage of the funding that can go for salaries, that can fund salaries of the project team?
This is entirely up to you. So
okay, so there is no limitation.
Yes. So the person months allocated to the project, so it will be based on the team members, or you will be selecting to conduct or implement then your proposal. So you need to identify technical experts. I don't know. You need to identify each person allocated to a specific task based on their expertise, and of course allocated person months that you consider to be reasonable in order for you to implement everything. So
okay,
there's no specific percentage for it. It's entirely up to you.
Thank you so much. One follow-up question. Since all the trainings will be done in English and the official communication language of the project is English, does it mean that all the project personnel that will be assigned to the implementation or execution of the project should be English speakers?
My first answer is yes. However, we will also most likely take into consideration, well, yes, at least everyone would need to understand English. You don't need to be an expert in English, but you need to understand English. And since the DALIA countries, so DALIA consortium countries, are not countries eligible for the applications, when we will allocate the mentors to each of the sub-projects teams, it will be difficult for you to speak the same native language. So in order to facilitate the entire communication, everything will be made in English.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natia. You're welcome. Nuno, I think, Katia, the next question is from Nuno. I think I already
answered this.
Yeah, answered. Yeah.
Next question. For the submission, we only need to submit from online application and join call proposal technical, no statement to sign, but our institution direction, for example, other administrative. This was answered already as well.
Yes. So in case of selection, if we have some doubts or so on, we will ask for this document. But at the proposal stage, no. And if it's clear to us, if indeed you are, for example, a National Institute of Marine Science and Technologies from Tunisia, for me this is clear that you are aligned with the denomination of local and regional authority, so you are eligible. And we will not require any legal document for this prior to the submission of the proposal. Afterwards, in case of selection, if it's needed, we will be requesting it. But prior to that, no.
Next question is, if a local authority applies, having as a partner a university, it's a total of 2 partners, is there a limit on their percentage of funding? Example, 50-50, 70-30? Thank you.
So university will be subcontracted, correct? So it will need to be 30%.
Yes. can we, as a communal enterprise, on the balance of local municipality, Ukraine,
No.
applicant?
Communal enterprise. So enterprise is a company, okay? And again, only local and regional authority. On the balance of local municipality. What do you, I don't know what this means. So
I believe that it's a company that has the balance, must be the fund of local municipality.
can you allow Victoria
Yes.
to speak? Thank you.
Victoria, I would ask you to unmute and
Hello, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, thank you for the chance. Yes, we are communal enterprise, and the funding are from the local municipality. So we are on the balance of local municipality.
But the legal status of your
we are NGO, not non-profit NGO, you can say.
Okay, so I would say if you would like to apply and if you already have a contact of a local municipality from Ukraine, the entity applying or the organization applying must be the municipality, okay? And you will be part of the consortium as a subcontracted organization, okay?
I understand. Thank you for your answer.
You're welcome, Victoria. Thank you.
Next question
covers
costs for the knowledge transfer activities for the first 12 months. Does this have to be covered in the original budget? I believe you have answered this already.
Yes, I have. So there seems to be a lot of questions about the training and transfer knowledge. So most likely what I will ask the partner responsible for this is a short description of what is expected, and we will send this through all the attendees here today, okay? Because I'm realizing that this is actually a really good important point for everyone. So I will be reaching out to the partner responsible for this, and hopefully the partner would have already some questions or some guidelines to provide.
Mm-hmm. The National Governmental Institute of Research is eligible to this call?
If you fit in the category of local and/or regional authority, yes.
Mm-hmm. One question about in the technical annex, each section is worth 25% of the final grade of the first moment of evaluation. However, in the guidelines for applicants, the percentage are 35, 35, and 25, which does not make 100%. Thank you. Wait.
Let me check. Each section is worth 25. 1 second. So most likely this is a typo, and okay.
It's page 12.
That's for the remote evaluation criteria, correct? Yes, I open it.
Okay, so
yeah, so there's a typo in the last one. It's not 25, it's 35, okay? We do apologize for the inconvenience.
Then objective of the project could be an executive planning proposal, a design, or a physical implementation on the ground, a structure, or a mixture of the two. Which solution would be regarded more positively?
Well, since you can choose one or multiple solutions to replicate, my answer would be they will be treated equally. It all depends on the proposal itself, how you are organizing, how you are using what you have selected for the replication site, how you are answering the evaluation criteria, descriptions, etc. So everything, both options will be evaluated equally.
And I believe the final question, is a public university considered a local authority?
Would you like to answer this, Katya?
No, it has to be. Wait.
Because you said you would like to answer this question.
I said I would like to answer this
Yes.
question. I said the final question.
Okay. This is actually a good question. I need to confirm this with the
I'm not
project
going
office.
for the we have here, well, the description of a local and regional.
Can you share the description in the chat?
Yeah,
That
I
would be
shared
great.
already, but I will share once again. And I will share here.
So, universities are considered state agencies?
It's in DALIA,
No.
DALIA defines the local and regional authorities from an associated region as legal entities, including bodies representing a regional local authority, such as agencies, planning bodies, regional or local port authorities, etc., whose role is significant and relevant for showcasing the feasibility of the solutions of the project. So I do not believe that.
My answer is no.
Yes.
So is a university a state or local government? No.
I will include here the description as well, answering to this question, but I don't believe as well.
But nonetheless, we will double check with our project officer. Because a public authority is broadly defined as a public, state, or government organization. And our agencies, so public authorities are agencies that are created by the governments to engage directly in the economy of public purposes. So this is not the role of a university. But so preliminary answer, no. However, we will confirm this.
I believe we don't have any more questions.
Okay, do we have any hands raised?
No, I just checked. We just had Anka. If you have any question, you just write please in the chat. If you have any specific question, if you want to raise your hand, please do. And if no one else has any questions, oh, we have here. What about public universities that are not state but cantonal?
I think it's kind of the same situation, correct? However, we will need to double check because again, local and regional authorities, agencies can be, for example, water management agencies that are public, municipalities, other public bodies that are strictly aligned with public purposes and decision making and so on. Universities, even if they are public bodies, are more on the educational sector. So universities, they don't have decision making on public research also, yes, but I think it's the same issue here. However, we will reach out to our project officer to have a clear answer on this, and we will be sharing it, okay, with everyone.
Okay.
Thank you, Anka. You're welcome. I'm sorry if I cannot at this moment provide a clear answer, but I will do my best to have it as soon as possible.
Yes. I don't believe we have any more questions, so I left in the chat our general email. Please provide your questions. We will give you a more detailed answer as soon as possible. We have a raised hand from Anka. So Anka, I will ask you to unmute and you can.
You can hear me yet? No?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Hello.
We are in university. We have also, I'm the coordinator of EU project, which is very similar with your project, but is about lakes. And we'll start also to search for the replication site. And this also for me, not very clear about these authorities because.
Okay, but is the project you're currently working on part of the program
No,
we
it's
shared?
It's not the same, but it's also ocean to protect the ocean.
Yes,
but
I do understand. We also have other projects that we are implementing at the moment, also with open calls and opportunities of funding support to third parties that are open to universities, to NGOs, to SMEs. But unfortunately, this topic in which DALIA project is part is focusing only on local and regional authorities. So this is why in order to provide you all a clear answer, I need to reach out to the project officer because she will be the right person to provide us with a clear answer about the types of organizations that are considered local and regional authorities.
In our case, she said no, that university are not public authorities, but yes, I'm curious.
Yes, so that would be my inclination as well, Anka. I'm not going to lie. But nonetheless, I will ask for an official answer, okay? And we will share this with everyone.
Yeah, I search an authority in Austria because I would like to be part of this project if it will be possible. So if we
Okay, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I will try to collect the information as soon as possible.
Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. So
Another
I hope
question emerged, which is the municipal enterprise that belongs to the city council eligible for this call? You already answered to this as well.
Yes. Regional development agencies, those are eligible, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So regional development agencies, it's a public body, and it's eligible.
And Turkey is eligible as well.
And
so
Turkey is eligible as well. So yes, Mehmet, you are eligible.
Thank you. Okay. Natia raised her hand, so I'm going.
Okay.
Okay, Natia.
Sorry,
speak. Yeah.
Sorry, since the discussion is about, eligibility and entities, what about Gori Municipal Development Agency?
It's eligible. It's eligible.
It is eligible, so
Yes.
we can actually apply for this.
Exactly,
Okay.
because you are an agency, part of a municipality. So yes, you are officially a public body and the local and regional, which fits in the local and regional
authority qualification.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Natia. Okay, so we need to conclude the webinar. I truly hope that this webinar was useful and we were able to at least try to clarify most of your questions and doubts. And we are really optimistic and looking forward to see your applications. In the meantime, whenever you need our support, reach out to us by email, okay? From my side and on behalf of DALIA's entire team, I wish you an amazing day. And we do look forward to see your applications. I don't know if any of my colleagues would like to say something, like Katya, Elena, Bosco, Attila, Mate.
I would like just to call all applicants to apply for this call. This is unique opportunity. We all have goodwill for this call, and please just be positive. And if you have any further questions, do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Perfect. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Wish you an amazing day.